ingredients. And look, best kitchen helper ever. You literally just sat down. You're like, Mom, I know you're cooking something. I'm here. I'm in the kitchen. I'm ready to rock and roll. Lay down and assume your position. Oh, look at that. And position assumed. Good job, Memphis. Good job. Welcome back to Snow Dog's Cooking, where if I can cook it, so can you. The day we're filming this is actually Super Bowl Sunday, and Jamie and I were trying to think of something fun, appetizer-y that we could make while we, watch the commercials during the football game. And so we decided to show you guys how we make jalapeno popper quesadillas and it's kind of similar to the Bronco berry sauce from Arby's. It's like a spicy raspberry dipping sauce that goes with them. So we're basically making jalapeno poppers, but the easy way. I guess the healthier way, because you don't have to deep fry these. So the first thing we're going to make is the sauce. Now remember, you can modify this as you'd like, depending on what spice level you're looking for. You're gonna need a half a cup of raspberry jam or raspberry preserves. I actually went with the all-natural raspberry preserves because it doesn't have any of the corn syrup in it. I just feel like that works a little bit better for stuff like this. You're gonna need between a half a tablespoon and 2 full tablespoons of hot sauce of your choice. If you're using a hot sauce that's a little bit hotter, you can use a little bit less. If you want it really hot, use more. Totally up to you. We're using about a tablespoon of hot sauce ourselves. You're gonna need, look, there's nothing in there. Oh, but there is. You're gonna need a tablespoon of vinegar. You can use white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. You're gonna need a tablespoon of sugar. That is also gonna cut down the heat. So remember that as well. You're gonna need a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. You can also add a half a teaspoon of onion powder, but I don't like to use onion powder, so that's why I'm not. You're gonna need about 2 tablespoons of finely diced green bell peppers. Mine were just starting to turn yellow, so green, yellow, red, whatever you want. You're also gonna need, and again, this is optional, this is also gonna make it a little bit more of a burn to it, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Use it or leave it out, totally up to you. And then depending on how thick you want this, we might be adding a little bit of water to this. This is what we're gonna make first, and then we're gonna make these after. For this, you're gonna need a saucepan and a whisk. Before we start, second best kitchen helper ever is confused. She's napping in here and I woke her up as I walked in here. Third best kitchen helper ever. Weird. I'm at the stove. Where do you think she is? Third best kitchen helper ever is as far away from the kitchen as she can get. There's cheese. When the cheese happens, I'm sure you'll be there. Now comes the ridiculously easy part. All of this stuff into your saucepan. All of it. Put it right into the saucepan. Your sugar, your spicy things. I'm gonna have to use a spoon to get some of that out. Garlic powder, smells so good. Hot sauce. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a spoon to get some more of this stuff out. I poured the vinegar into the hot sauce bowl to make it come out easier. That worked pretty good. Those diced up peppers. And again, like I said, green bell peppers. And then the jelly. Ooh. Now I'm gonna whisk this together and then I'm gonna start to slowly simmer it. Now you can kind of see here, this is pretty thick. I might add just a tablespoon of water to it. If yours is a little bit too runny, add a little bit more jelly. Actually, this might be a good consistency. But you want to mix it all together and kind of figure out what that consistency is, because you got to let this cool before you use it. And that's actually not that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on to like a medium low. And we want to bring this up to a simmer. Now, while this is coming up to a simmer, you're going to want to stir it occasionally because the jelly does have a lot of sugar in it. Plus, we added sugar to it, so we don't want it to burn. So we're just going to bring it up till it starts to bubble just a little bit. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but it's just barely starting to simmer. I'm going to put this on low and let it simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes because we want all of these flavors to like meld together and be super amazing. So I'm gonna let it simmer on a super low for, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes. Stir it every minute or so, because again, you don't want it to burn and stick to the bottom. Oh, and for those of you wondering what type of jelly I used this, the Smucker's Natural Red Raspberry. This does have seeds. You could also use seedless. I just like this one because it doesn't have any corn syrup in it. Not that corn syrup, I eat jelly with corn syrup in it, but for cooking, I like to try to do it like this. I feel like it makes a better consistency. But you can use either. And if you don't like raspberry, try it with strawberry. Try it with mixed berry. Realistically, experiment with it. You might find something that you like even better than the raspberry. Raspberries are my favorite, though. Memphis, do you want a raspberry? Memphis is sound asleep. Would you like a freeze-dried raspberry? Check it out. So these are freeze-dried raspberries. I love raspberries. And I feel like I'm never able to eat them all before they go bad, so we've been freeze-drying them. Memphis is like, give me the raspberry. You want one? Yeah, it's crunchy. Oh, look at that. Second best kitchen helper ever has arrived. Raspberry. She's like, whoa, okay. That's pretty good. Pretty good, you like it? All right, we better go give one to the other dog. Okay, ma'am, I told you there was cheese, and there is, but would you like a raspberry? Yeah, crunchy. Good stuff? Yeah, good stuff. All right, so the 10 minutes is up. It is all nice and simmered together. It smells amazing. Now, I have a container here that I'm going to pour it into because you're going to want this to cool before you actually use it for dipping. We're going to pour it in there, let it cool, kind of turn back into a good dipping sauce, and we're going to make our jalapeno popper quesadillas. I don't think I had this out when I was showing you guys the ingredients for the jalapeno popper quesadillas, but this is optional as well. You don't have to put them in, but it does make them taste pretty good. Makes them kind of like the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. We're gonna take our shell. We're gonna take some whipped cream cheese and we're gonna do it on half. Now, some people are gonna tell you, put it all on there and then put another one on top of it, which is fine, except my shells are home style, so they're not all the same size. So I like to do the fold it in half method. So we're gonna put some cream cheese on this first. How much? About that much. A nice good layer. Now we're gonna take some of these and layer them on here. I feel like this is also a good time to tell you that I'm using the mild jalapeno peppers just in the jar. You could cut fresh ones and put them in here as well if you want like that crunchy fresh. I would cook them a little bit lower so that the jalapenos would actually cook, but these work good for us, so this is what we usually use. Arrange them like so, and then like I said, this part's optional. We're gonna put a little bit of bacon bits on here. And now I'm gonna have to pay the cheese tax because she's here waiting. We're gonna use some shredded cheese. I like to use Colby Jack. You can use like a Mexican blend, you can use cheddar, you can use really whatever you want, but we're gonna sprinkle some of that on top of this as well. Just like that. Now we're gonna fold this in half and we're gonna cook it in this pan. Oh, look at you. You just show up out of nowhere. You know the cheese tax is being paid. You know the rule though. Memphis first. Have some cheese. All right, Kira, you can have some. And Eleanor gets some. Gotta pay that cheese tax. They're like, whoa, yeah, cheese tax. So while I was putting these together, I preheated my pan over a medium heat. Now I'm gonna take just a little bit of the spray it in the pan, drop one of these in there. Oh yeah, getting them nice and crispy. So I did turn it down just a little bit because I want the inside cheese to melt a little bit more, but that's about what I want it to look like when I'm ready to take it off. So I flipped it over and then we're gonna cut it once we get it off of here. Oh my goodness. That looks like perfection to me. Time to give it a try. Ooh.
I mean, it smells pretty good.
You gonna dip it in the sauce.
Are you gonna try one too?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try one.
Ooh, nice and thick. Let's see if it doesn't burn my face off.
It shouldn't burn your face off.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right combination?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It tastes exactly like we did it last time.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Nice. That sauce is amazing. It's got a kick to it.
It's not too bad though.
No.
Everything else kind of mellows it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of cheese, and cheese makes it a little bit less, so. All right, I'm going to try some too. Just to prove to you that I eat the things too. So good. So good. Do the thing. Oh my gosh, they're so good. One of the greatest things about quesadillas, again, you can pretty much modify those any way you want. Throw some chicken in there, throw some beef in there, throw whatever. I like it with just the cheese and jalapenos because it's a jalapeno popper quesadilla. You could even sprinkle like some breadcrumbs inside of it if you want to give it a little crunch, or remembered, like tortilla chips or something. But anyway, that was amazing. Super easy to make. Fun for parties. Fun for when people come over and you need a fun appetizer. They're great. All right, you guys. We hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay positive, dream big, and we will see you again soon. Goodbye, audience.